Hello, hello. Hello. Hello, hello. Okay, good morning, everyone. How's your first pop quiz? Not good. Hmm? Not good. Okay, what was question number 1? Without continuing participation, corporation cannot survive. Which one? Primary. Okay. DCCO. The second question is what? Cooperative. Primary stakeholders, no contractual. Is that true? False. Okay. Number 4, right to be forgotten. Erasure. Okay. Stakeholders are suppliers of capital? No. Okay. That's not true. Shareholders, not stakeholders. Okay. External stakeholders, this includes what? Pressure groups. Okay. Because providers of finance, that is your lenders. Okay. So you have data subjects, data users, data controllers. You know this one. And also Porter's value chain. Huh? Describing the, okay, the 4 activities. How many years to keep the records? 6 and 3 years. Okay. You know already what is span of control, what is a shareholder, what is personal data. Okay, I gave you pointers last time, so. Okay, now I have a list here of companies. I'll give this to Teret. Try to identify now what company will you interview for your assignment. Except this, because these are already done. So I'll give this to you, Teret. So if you plan to interview, look at the list, exclude that. Okay. Like brown coffee, do not go to brown coffee anymore. Starbucks also. I think ComEd is already, why did they not put ComEd here? Yeah, ComEd was already included, why is not here? Okay, do not include ComEd. Oh. Okay, so we will finish chapter 5 today. We are almost done. Do you know when is your midterm exam? September 23, okay, to 28, then followed by Chumban. Yes, that's why Monday, I plan to cancel the class, but we have no time for makeup class. So that's the problem. Okay, are we done with this? Restrictive or anti-competitive practices? This one done. Monopolistic competition. Huh? This one is done. Not yet. This one. Not yet. Ah, where did we stop? Huh? Elasticity?
Yes.
So, why? Yeah. We are still here. This one, we are done. Equilibrium. This one, we have answered this. Not yet. Huh? Okay, done. What was your answer to this? Okay, C. How about this? Not yet. Okay. Now, when we say equilibrium, just remember this is equal, huh? If it is not equal, madam, what will you call that? Disequilibrium. Okay. So equilibrium price is the price where supply equals demand. That is the price that will prevail in the free market. Now take note, I said the price is a signal to producers. Why? If the price of this product is high in the market, producers will produce more. Because if the price is high, profit is big. Remember, profit is the difference between your price and ATC, your cost, okay? Okay, now, where is your equilibrium price here? What price? Okay, 1.20, madam. That is the, okay, that is the equilibrium price. That is where supply and demand are the same. Meaning to say, no surplus, no shortage, okay? Another name for equilibrium price is what? Market clearing price. Everything sold at the end of the day. The tables are cleared, everything sold because supply is just equal demand. No surplus, okay? So market clearing price. Okay. Now, when is there disequilibrium? They are not equal anymore, madam. That's why we call it disequilibrium. Okay? Meaning to say, price is above equilibrium price. Okay? If price is higher than the equilibrium price, what will the producers do? Produce more, produce less? Produce more, madam. You said price is a signal. If price is up, I will sell more. Okay. So if price is higher than the equilibrium or the market price, producers will produce more. But remember that if price is higher, what will happen to your demand? They will buy less, so there will be surplus because we have disequilibrium. Now, another disequilibrium is when price is below equilibrium price. What will happen? What will suppliers do? Price is even lower than the market price. Produce less, produce more. Okay, once they produce less, it will lead to shortage. Why? We know that if price is low, demand will increase, but suppliers will not sell more. So that will lead to shortage. Okay. But if price is above equilibrium, because of the surplus, sellers will reduce the price. Okay? If there is shortage, sellers will tend to increase the price. So it's like this. That's the equilibrium. Now the price is 160. So suppliers will produce more because the price is high. But demand will drop. So this will lead to surplus. Once there is surplus, you cannot sell all, you will lower the price so that demand a little bit will increase. So that will go down to, it will go back to equilibrium price, okay? The same, another disequilibrium. If price is lower than the equilibrium price, producers will not produce more. Why? Very cheap, okay? But buyers will buy more. So there will be shortage. If there is shortage, sellers will take advantage of that. They will also increase the price back to the equilibrium price, okay? Now, how about this one? Where is Mongsreng? Okay, Mongsreng, so that you can cover up the points you miss. Huh? Can you please read this one? Okay, what do you think is the answer? When is there surplus? When? Okay, very good. Okay, good. Another question here. Where is Saiha? Saiha, just read this, okay? Just read so you will get 1 point and you cover up the points you miss. So I cannot hear you, Saiha. Increase the volume a little bit. Okay. What is rationing function? When is there rationing? Okay. When demand is very high and supply is less. Okay. Like for example, if there is less supply of petro in Phnom Penh, okay, and we know that people needs petro. One supply is less and demand is high, the government will intervene. The government will say, oh, gasoline station, you do rationing so that every consumer or every user can avail of the limited supply. If the government will not do that, only one rich person will buy all the petro in Phnom Penh, okay? So what will the government do? Okay, gasoline station for moto, just give $5 lit. For cars, only 20 lit so that everyone can access, okay? The petro because we have limited supply. Meaning to say, The government is trying to reduce demand. Okay? How to reduce demand? Regulation. It's government regulation. Okay? But to lower demand, you can use price. Okay? You can use price. What will happen if you increase the price? Demand will? Okay. Supply is here, demand is here. How will you drop this demand so that this demand will be here? Using price. What will you do? Increase price, lower price? Huh? How will you drop demand? By increasing price so that your supply and demand will be the same. Okay, so you are using here price as a mechanism so that demand will reduce. How? Increase the price. They will not buy more. Okay, so what do you think is the answer here? Bibol, what do you think is the answer? C? Okay, very good. You already have covered up what you missed. Okay, meaning to say you are trying to equalize this. Okay, to equate, to equal demand and supply. Okay, that's the rationing function of price. Lower demand, increase the price. Okay, remember price is a mechanism. It is a signal to producer. It can also drop demand if you increase the price. Okay. Now, minimum and maximum price. This is part of government regulation again. Okay. That's why they say government deregulate according to Friedman. Okay, do not impose so much laws that will affect the business. In this situation, government try to regulate prices. Okay? The government can regulate the minimum wage. Okay? So that employers will give this wage not lower than this minimum. Now, there are two ways, okay, how government regulates this. By setting minimum price and setting maximum price, how will the government do this? Okay. The government will set the minimum price at 160, higher than the equilibrium. Okay, this is one way of regulating price. Meaning to say, minimum is this. You cannot sell lower than this. You can sell higher than that because that's already the floor. Okay, that's already the floor. You cannot you cannot sell below 160. You can sell higher than 160. It's okay. But 160 is the floor already. You cannot sell lower than that. Now, why the government will do this? Because the government wants to produce what? Surplus. The government will buy this for export. You know, you're exporting your rice. How will you encourage farmers to plant more? Increase, okay, the minimum price. That is one way of producing surplus. Why? Why it is expensive, madam? You know, the government intervened by setting minimum price to help the producers. To help them produce surplus, the government will buy this at a higher price because this is for export. That's why they can sell at a higher price. Okay? So in this situation, the government is helping the producers, not the buyers. Huh? The producers. The only way to encourage producers to produce surplus is increase the price. Okay? Remember, price is a signal to producers. Okay? But the purpose of the government here is to produce surplus for export. Okay? Now, there was one question asked. What if the government will offer the minimum price lower than the equilibrium? No effect because no one will produce more. The government cannot collect surplus there. It has no effect on the farmers if they say, oh, the minimum price is 80. Farmers will say, ah, very cheap. Why should I plant more? Okay, so no effect. The government cannot generate surplus for export. Okay, by setting the price above, that is helping the producers. Okay, now another intervention or regulation of the government. When you say regulation, these are laws mandated by the government. You cannot say no, but follow the law. Okay, you know, government is very powerful. Okay, now another is setting the maximum price. What is maximum price, madam? You can sell lower but not higher because that's already the ceiling. 80 cents maximum. If you sell more than 80, that is illegal. The government can, you know, penalize you. So that is already the ceiling. You know the ceiling. You cannot go beyond the ceiling, okay? So maximum price of 80 cents. You can sell lower than this but not higher than this. Why the government is doing this, madam? To protect the buyers this time from overpricing. Because if prices are lower, expected there is shortage. And if there is shortage, the sellers will take advantage of that to increase the price. Just like what happened to the face mask last time, when sellers continue to increase one box, $5, $10, $15, $20, no regulation at the time. Okay? So the government intervenes by making another regulation setting the maximum price of 80. Maximum, that's already the ceiling. You can sell cheaper than that, but not higher than that. Because if there is shortage, you already know sellers will increase the price, and they cannot do that. So in this regulation, the government is protecting the buyers. Okay? Now take note here that maximum is below equilibrium. The ceiling is below. The floor is up. So just remember here, the floor is up above equilibrium. The ceiling is below equilibrium. That is the ceiling price and the floor price. The ceiling price is the maximum. The floor price is the minimum. Okay? But where to find ceiling price, madam? Below equilibrium. Where to find floor price? Above. So it's reverse, huh? In this classroom, the ceiling is up, the floor is here, down. But in this, the ceiling is above equilibrium, okay? And the floor is up and the ceiling is down, okay? So floor price is above equilibrium and ceiling price is below equilibrium. It's a reverse of this classroom, that the ceiling is up and the floor is down. So these are two ways that government intervenes or make legislation affecting selling price. Okay. Now let's identify this. Where is Sovanri? Sovanri, what is number 1? What is this? What is this? A, B, C, D. This is what? Okay, that is equilibrium price. Okay. How about number 3 and number 4 singkong. And number 4 is, okay, market demand. Okay. Where is Sithani? Sithani is not here. Where is Mao Samnang? Samnang not here. Where is Likina Nurek? Not here. Not here. Where is Sudana? Okay, Sudana. What is number 5? What is B? Consumer. How about number 2? What is number 2? A, B, C, D, E. Which is your supplier curve? 3 or 4? What is 4? Okay, so who will buy? How about this line? What is this? What is number 3? Supply. So who will sell? Okay, so analyze like that. Huh? Okay. What is 2 and what is 5? Because it relates to this. 3 and 4. What is that? A, B, C, D, E. Where is the consumer line? 3 or 4? Which one is the producer's line? 4 or 3? Okay, so what is this area here? A, B, C, D, or E? Look at the closest line. What is, okay, what is number 2? Because number 2 and number 5 relates to 3 and 4. If you are closer to the 4 line or the 3rd line, you know what line is that. What do you think is number 2? Okay, who will volunteer to answer this? Okay, so clear. Okay. Yes. Number 2 is consumer surplus. And number 5 is what? Producer surplus. Okay. Now, let me explain why this is surplus and surplus. What is surplus, madam? Something extra. Extra income, extra savings of the buyers. Now, remember that this is supplier's line. Huh? Supplier's line, this one here. Okay? And if you look at the line here, This is the price that they are selling in the market. But sometimes producers will overprice the buyer, especially if the buyer is a foreigner. Is that true that you will sellers will triple the price? If the buyers are tourists? So meaning to say they will move up higher than the market price. That's why they have extra income, they have surplus, because they can overcharge a customer, a buyer, okay? Now, how about number 2? Now, in this situation, the producer earns extra income because they are selling higher than the market price, okay? What is number 2? This is very close to the demand side. Demand side refers to your consumers, the ones buying, okay? Now, why is that surplus again, madam? Because sometimes the buyer can negotiate for lower price if they buy more, okay? So meaning to say they will have savings there. When they negotiate, this is the price in the market. But sometimes, you know, buyers, if they buy more, lower the price, okay? So this area here represents the savings or surplus of the buyers or consumers because they got it lower than the market price, okay? So this area, these are savings of the buyers. These one are extra or surplus income of the seller, okay? You know, that's the reality in the market. Don't tell me, the price in the market is this. Others will sell higher than that, okay? You know, especially Cambodia is a tourist, you know. You have so many tourists here. They can triple the price. Okay, they can double the price. That is surplus income for them. But buyers are very good in bargaining. They can also have savings or surplus because they can get it at a lower price. Okay. Okay, now let's go to the market structure. When you say structure of the market, we only have 2, perfect or imperfect. Now, why we call perfect, madam? Because there is perfect competition. Meaning to say, no one supplier can control price. Okay? Okay. Meaning to say, why is it, madam, that in a perfect competition, they cannot dictate the price? Okay? Because they are price takers, not price makers. Why no one can influence price? Because there are many of them selling the same goods. We call homogeneous goods. Madam, what is the same goods and what is homogeneous goods? They're selling perfect substitute here. Like for example, if you look at now season for Turin, one stall, they sell Turin. Next few meters away, another with umbrella selling. On the other, many of them lining up. They're selling exactly the same goods, homogeneous goods. How will I know, madam, that's homogeneous? You mix all their product. They cannot tell which one is their Turin because they are exactly the same. They are selling homogeneous goods. Now, because of that, people know how much the kilo of that. So they cannot dictate the price. No one. They follow the same pricing. The tendency is they follow the same pricing. Because if your price is higher, they will go to the next stall and you cannot sell. So that is perfect competition because their products are homogeneous, not branded. The same goods. So the market It's easy to enter, but it does not need big capital. If you sell Turin, okay, it doesn't cost you a lot if you exit and stop selling. Okay, so easy to enter, easy to exit, no barriers here. That's why there are many sellers, small sellers. Okay. Now, when we talk about imperfect competition, because they have control over price. You know, a monopoly. These are price makers. They make the price. Perfect competition, price takers. What is the prevailing price in the market? That's the price that they can sell. In imperfect competition, they can decide on the price. Like monopoly. What is mono? One. Only one seller, only one producer. Now, in a monopoly, there is zero competition. Now, what are companies here considered monopoly? What? Your electricity? What else? Your water? I do not know with Sentry. Maybe not anymore. There are competition also. Okay. So only one seller or one producer. Why only one, madam? Why only sole provider? Okay. Remember, they can set their own price because there is a big barrier here. You cannot copy this because it needs very big capital. Okay. Very big capital. So only one producer. You said, madam, one seller, monopoly. How about only one buyer, madam? Still mono. Monopsony. Okay? If there is one seller, monopoly. One buyer, still mono, monopsony. Okay? Another imperfect market is, okay, oligopoly. What is oligopoly, madam? Only few companies, few firms control the market. Why only few? Because there is a very high barrier to entry as well. Example, what, madam? Airline company. Very big barrier. It needs big capital. Okay. Automobile companies, it needs big capital. So oligopoly, only few of them, okay, selling, and they can control the price. Madam, what if only two? Duopoly, like Pepsi and Coke. Do, like you do it, okay, only two. Okay, duopoly. Okay. Now, what is monopolistic competition? Monopolistic competition. Now, there are many sellers, okay, many sellers. But each of them is a monopoly producer of that brand. Like t-shirts, Nike, only Nike, you cannot sell Adidas there. You are the monopoly producer and seller of that brand. Okay? So even if you complete, you can just imagine how many brands when you say t-shirts. Under Armour, Nike, Polo, okay, Adidas, what else, Lacoste, whatever. So many of them. But they are the monopoly producer of that brand. Why? If you sell Nike, you cannot sell Adidas. There is very strong competition there. Okay? So they compete, many of them, okay, many sellers, but they produce one brand, okay? Monopoly producer of one brand. Now, madam, how will they differentiate their product? Now, take note, in monopolistic competition, their strategy is product differentiation to distinguish their product from others. Madam, what's another name for product differentiation? Branding. Branding. Meaning these products are branded. Okay, branded. And we know if products are branded, cheap or expensive? Expensive. But that's why if you are buying differentiated products, your bargaining power as a seller is low. You cannot say lower, low. No, this is original. Cannot bring the price down, okay? Your bargaining power is very low if you are buying a differentiated product or branded product. Why different? Because the brand is different from others. So when you say product differentiation strategy, you are using branding, okay? These are branded goods and they are not cheap, okay? So the difference between the two, oligopoly and monopolistic competition, oligopoly, only few firms, monopolistic, many sellers using product differentiation, okay? Okay, oligopoly, Ford. What airlines here? Okay. There is a very big barrier here. Okay, it needs big capital. Monopolistic competition. So many of them. Okay. Perfect competition. Only small capital, madam. Easy to enter, easy to exit. They're selling the same goods. Okay. They cannot control the price because people know how much these goods in the market. Okay. Now, what are the characteristics of perfect competition? Okay. Number one, no one supplier can control the price. They cannot. Why? Because they are price takers, not price makers. And also, no barrier to entry and exit because it does not need big capital. If you want to stop tomorrow, very easy. Okay. And all suppliers are selling homogeneous goods. One question was asked here. In a perfect competition, sellers are selling variety of goods. Cannot. They are selling the same goods. Okay, homogeneous goods, the same goods. That's why when you mix their goods, they cannot tell which one is mine. And there are large number of small sellers and so many buyers as well. And you know the pricing, the information about price? Oh, people know how much is that. You know, before when I passed by Olympic Stadium, when the entrance was still there, I think they moved the entrance on the other side. Every morning, so many carts full of coconut, lining up, lining up. And you know what? They sell the same price. That is perfect competition. No one controls the price. People know how much one coconut costs. Okay? There can be no agreement, collusion between buyer and seller. Oh, I'll give you special. No, why? Because they only earn small profit there. Small profit. Because they cannot control the price. They adopt single selling price. So you cannot say buyer and seller, oh, give me special price. No, our profit very small. Okay? We have the same pricing. Our profit just very small. Cannot be. We will agree that yours is cheaper than the other buyer cannot. That is why the demand curve is perfectly elastic or horizontal. The same price, all of them, the same price. Once you raise a little bit, no one will buy from you. So you have to follow the same pricing. Okay. So what is the average revenue curve? Again, revenue. What is your revenue? How much your price? Okay. Remember what I say, marginal revenue equals price, revenue. If your price is $10, when you sell this, your income or revenue is 10. Okay. So they say here, in a perfect competition, the average revenue is horizontal line. Why? They adapt the same pricing. Okay. They have no market control. So it is horizontal. They adapt the same pricing. They cannot say if price is high, demand, no. They adopt the same pricing. Okay. Okay, so Dana, can you please read this one? Okay, what do you think is the answer here? A, B, or C? Hmm? Okay, it is horizontal because we just discussed that. Okay. Okay, it's horizontal. Can you please read the explanation of the examiner below? You know what prevailing market price? Equilibrium price. That's the price that will prevail in the market, that the buyers are willing to pay and the sellers are willing to sell. Okay. Now, how about the average revenue curve of a monopoly? Madam, that's imperfect market. Okay. Single, mono means only one, madam. Okay. And they are price makers, so they can control the price. They're very extensive, very wide market control. You know, the average revenue curve is negatively sloped, like your demand curve. Why is this, madam? Because if they want to increase their sales, they can lower the price. Meaning to say, if we want to increase sales, we can lower the price because they are the ones making the price. There is zero competition here. So they control the price. If you want to sell more, lower the price because if price is lower, demand will increase. Okay, so it is negatively sloped. Okay, if my price is here, you buy only this. I will lower it, then you will buy here. Okay. They say if a monopoly wants to sell larger quantity, it can lower the price. Why? They are in control of the price. Okay, this one. Okay, Samnang is not here. Mao Samnang. Mao Samnang. Oh, I called you before. You did not. Oh, late. Okay, please, Samnang, so that you can cover up. Okay, let's analyze this. Remember, theory of the firm again. What is theory of the firm? if they want to maximize their sales or their profit. Okay? What will the average revenue curve look like? Because they want to increase sales, because they want to maximize their profit. Okay. So what is the curve? Letter what? Okay, yes, because they can lower the price if they want to increase the volume of sales. Okay. Now, monopolistic competition. Madam, you said that monopolistic competition, they're selling here branded products, madam. Yes. You see, it is also negatively sloped, but very slight slope. Very negligible. It looks like horizontal. Meaning to say it is only like this. Okay, very, very, very small. Okay. Why is this, madam? If they want to increase their sales, they can only give discount like 10% or 20%. Because these are branded products. The moment they will reduce the price, people will not buy because they think it's not original. Because these are branded products. So they cannot give discount, buy one, take one, 70. It cannot. Because buyers will doubt, why are they selling this very cheap? These are branded goods. Maybe these are fake. Okay? So if they want to increase their sales, they only give like 10% or 20%. They can only lower a little bit, but not much, because their products are differentiated or branded. Okay? So it is also negatively sloped, but very slight, because they can only lower a little bit, maybe 10%. Okay, or 20%. They cannot lower it some more because people might think they're not selling the original one. Okay. Now, these are the anti-competitive practices. Restrictive because some of these are illegal competition. Okay. What is dumping? You know, when you dump, you just put it there. Okay. Put it there, dump it there. Okay. Now, there is what we call predator dumping, which is very bad. What is predator dumping, madam? They will flood, this supplier will flood the market of this product at a loss. Meaning they're incurring loss because that is lower than their production cost. Okay? Why should they flood the market and then they are selling the product very cheap? They are incurring loss because that is lower. The selling price is lower than their ATC. The purpose there is to kill the competitors, to kill the existing sellers, because how can you compete now? Here is a product flooded very cheap. We cannot sell anymore. So what will they do? They will close down. And this person or supplier doing this, once other competitors close down, she's the only one, he will increase the price to cover up the loss for his strategy of dumping. That is illegal. Anti-competition. Okay? That is what we call predator dumping. Your approach is to sell your product at a loss below ATC just to kill other sellers. And once all the sellers have closed down, you increase your price because you are the only one left in the market. Okay? That is anti-competitive practice. Another is exclusive dealership. Meaning to say, only one distributor of their product, only one dealer of their product. Others you cannot deal, exclusive only for this. Okay? There is a contract that you only sell this product. You know exclusive dealing? This is also, but this is not illegal because Pepsi and Coke are using this. Like, for example, they will study, these two, the duopoly, Pepsi and Coke, they're very fierce, competitor. And they will look at strategic stores, maybe in front of a school, and they know that their product can sell easily. They will make a contract with the owner of the store and say, Mr. Owner, I will improve your store. I'll give you a very nice signage with our logo, Coca-Cola. I will give you a refrigerator, Coca-Cola. I will give you 50 cases free, but sell only Coca-Cola, exclusive for Coca-Cola. You cannot use a refrigerator for other drinks, only for our product. Okay? Our contract is 3 years. So meaning to say, they will just come and inspect, open refrigerator if there is no Pepsi inside. Because you signed a contract. 50 cases free. Free refrigerator. Free cooler. Free signboard. You see how this went? But exclusive. Cannot sell other products, only Coca-Cola. Pepsi is also doing it. How much Coca-Cola gave you? 50 cases? We give you 70. 70 cases free. Okay? You know this competition. As long as you exclusive only for Pepsi. Another here is price fixing. Who will fix the price? If there are only 2 sellers. What if there are only 2 sellers of Petro in Phnom Penh? These 2 sellers can collude and agree and fix the price. Anywhere they go, we adopt the same price. The same if they're only sellers or wholesalers of rice. They can fix the price. Anywhere you go, the price is this. We will set at this. Anywhere they cannot find lower than this because we agree. Okay, that is price fixing. Meaning they will sell at the same price. So buyers have no choice. No option, just buy it anywhere you go, the same price. What else? Refusal to deal. There are some sellers or vendors who want to sell. But this company will say, no, I will choose my seller, but not you. Okay? That I cannot deal with you. Okay? Then they have the choice what company will be selling their brand of products. They say, I want to sell also your product. No. Okay. No, I will not deal with you. You cannot sell my product. What else? Limit pricing. Madam, limit pricing is good for the consumer, yes. This is the strategy of monopoly. You know, a monopoly controls the market. Okay, like electricity, like water. To discourage other investors to compete with them, they will not charge very high rate. Because once people will complain that, oh, electricity is very expensive, water is not affordable, the government will respond to that. By what? Allowing other company to enter, so you will compete. That's the only way to lower price, competition. So to avoid that, to discourage others to enter the market, they just limit their pricing. Pricing that people will not complain. Okay, otherwise, if people complain, they will complain to the government, not to the company. Okay, the government will allow competition. Then here comes another company. Oh, we can sell lower than that. What happened to that company? So to avoid entry of new competitor, make the pricing acceptable. Okay, just limit. Another is retail price maintenance. You know, Nestle is a very big company, even in my country. And Nestle is selling so many. Milo, I do not know, Ovaltine is also their product. So many when you see Nestle. Okay? Now, what will this big company do? They go to the villages. Okay? There are small stores buying from them. They supply every week. But they will give you suggested retail price. If one pack of Milo is how much? 25 cents, whatever. Maintain the same price. Meaning all of you retailers cannot sell higher than that. You follow our pricing. Meaning all retailers or resellers, you cannot set your own price. You just follow our suggested pricing. Okay? Why is that? They are controlling the price. Okay? So the reseller cannot make big profit because they are bound by that. If you sell higher than that, next time I will not distribute to your store. Okay? Now, they also look at subsidies from government as anti-competitive. You know subsidy? This is government spending, huh? That is fiscal, monetary. Fiscal, okay? Now, if the government will say farmers in, farmers in Priveng, I'll give you subsidy, free seeds, free fertilizer, and free whatever. I will give you a communal, one tractor for the whole commune or village. Now, they view that as unfair. Okay. Unfair for those who did not receive. Because when the government gives subsidy, their production cost is lower. And how about those who did not receive? Their production cost is higher. So how can they compete? So sometimes government subsidy, if not given to all, can be unfair practice as well. Okay, unfair practice. Okay, now, another regulation of the government. Aside from minimum price or maximum price, here's another law. Minimum wage. What is this, madam? The government will regulate the salary that the employers will give to their workers. Now, if you look at this graph, this is the supply of labor. Madam, what is supply of labor? Because this is labor. Number of people who will look for job. Okay, supply. But how about demand, madam? This is the demand of the industry who will hire. Okay? Before the regulation, they have market wage. Meaning to say, what the applicant will accept and what the employer is willing to pay. Okay, that's the market price, just like your equilibrium price in the market. So they can negotiate. Okay, I will work in your store. Is it okay? I give you $130 a month. Okay, so if the applicant agree and the employer agree, it's good. Okay, depending on your qualification. Okay, maybe this one is 140, another one is 145. That is the market wage. That is the effect of the forces of supply and demand. But if the government will intervene, setting the minimum wage again, that the minimum wage is 150. That's the real wage. Remember the real wage unemployment? Okay. Once the government will set the minimum wage above the market wage. Market wage is just based on supply and demand. 120 is okay. Okay, 130 is okay, 140. Now here's the government regulating. 150. Meaning, when you hire people, you cannot give salary lower than 150. You can give higher, but not. Because that's the floor already. You cannot give lower than 150, but you can give higher than 150. You see, that's why Friedman said, government deregulate. The more regulation you do, the more you are hurting the business sector. Okay, minimum wage. Here's another regulation. Okay, so what will happen if the minimum wage mandated by the government is higher than the market wage? Take note, the one set by government is what we call the real wage. Okay, if you remember, we have real wage unemployment. Because since the government increased the rate to the minimum, at first the demand is here. Okay, here. They just agree. When the government increased the salary to 150, the demand for workers will drop. Okay? The demand for workers will drop because the employer will say, I only give them 120. Now I have 20 people with me. I will give 150. So that will increase my production cost by 30. So maybe I will remove 2. I'll keep only 8. I will give the 8 employees 150, but 2 I have to lay off. That's the effect of real wage unemployment because it's higher. So what will the employer do? Reduce the demand now is here. But since salary is high, many people will look for job. Supply is here. So there will be surplus of unemployed people. When you say surplus, labor surplus, that is the unemployed, okay? Unemployed people. So when the government increased the wage rate above the market wage, demand will decrease, but supply will increase. So that will lead to labor surplus, meaning many people are unemployed, and some of this is due to real wage unemployment, those who are removed. That is the real wage unemployment. That's why they say here, the greater the difference between minimum wage and market wage, the greater the unemployment. That's why it's not also good to increase or set the minimum wage, because the effect of that is unemployment. Unemployment because of real wage unemployment. You know, real wage is not only because of regulation. Real wage can also be the demand of the labor union to get high salary. Then that become a real wage as well. The same effect, employers cannot afford. So some employers will lay off some of the workers. It will again result to real wage unemployment. Okay, so what are the effects of minimum wage? We call this wage floor, meaning the minimum wage is above equilibrium. Companies will hire fewer workers. But many households will look for employment because the rate is high. So there will be unemployment in the affected market. This will not affect all, only for that group of workers. Okay. Because the government usually will say the minimum wage for garment factory workers, okay? So that applies only to that, okay, that labor market, okay? But does not affect others. Oh, we are done. Okay. By the way, your permanent homework, huh? Find time to read your lecture notes, your textbook, your revision kit. Okay. Do not ask for more, huh? Only this. Because you might say, Madam, give us more assignment. Remember, you will have to interview one company. You have to decide what company to interview. The list is with the red. Do not interview those company listed, including ComEd. Okay. Okay. Chapter 6. Business organization, structure, and strategy. Okay. What is this, Madam? Going back to the structure. Some organizations are tall, some are flat. Okay, this is our food for thought for chapter 6. Now, on Wednesday, let us say we'll play Kahot chapter 1. So you have to go back. Because if we reach chapter 10, you forgot already chapter 1. Okay? So maybe on Wednesday, let us say, I will look at the schedule. We will play Kahot for chapter 1. So go back chapter 1, huh? Go back for chapter 1. Only chapter 1. Okay, only chapter 1. During our Kahoot play, you register your ID number because LEC will directly record that score in your, I do not know, LEC file. Be sure you know your ID number. Plus, perfect score will receive 3 marks. That will be added as your class participation. Okay. 99 up to 50%, 2 marks. Below 50, meaning 49 down, 0 mark. 0 mark. Why? During Kahoot, you can copy. You cannot get 50%. Oh. During Kahoot, you just enjoy, and then you just listen to whom. This one, another color coding. No problem with me. You enjoy playing Kahoot. Okay, you can ask your neighbor left and right. It's okay. But if your score is below 50, 0, huh? 0. Okay. 0, why? It is just like an exam open book, because you can ask your neighbor, ask left and right, okay? What's the answer? Others will have color coding. I said, just say the answer. Do not use the color coding. Okay. So if you want success, pay the price. What is the price if you want to be successful? Hard work, madam. Okay. Will you be successful? Yes, if I am willing to pay the price, madam. Okay. They say that you are never given a wish without also being given the power to make it come true. But you have to work for it and pay the price. Pay the price. So it means to say, no pain, no gain. Okay? No study, no pass. Okay? So just to wish everyone happy Monday. Okay. Happy Monday. But you will have quiz on Saturday. On Saturday, quiz number 2. 4 and 5. Because the first quiz is 1, 2, and 3. The second quiz is 4 and 5. Okay. Now, we will discuss this. Informal organization. Madam, if there is informal, what is formal? Okay, we will discuss that too. Formal, informal. Because in an organization, the formal, the informal exist, coexist. Then we look at the structure. Is it flat? Is it tall? Now, in an organization, we have 3 layers there. S, T, and O, according to Anthony. S means strategic. Madam, who are these? Your board of directors, your CEO, your directors. What is T? Tactical. Tactical are middle managers, your department managers, manager of finance, manager of HR, manager of production, manager of sales. That's the tactical level. And O is operational. What is operational, madam? These are your frontline workers. Okay. They're the ones doing the job, making the product. If we think of ComEd, we, the lecturers, are at the operational level. Why? We are directly in contact with our customers. Who are your customers, madam? You. You are our customers. Okay, we are in the front line. Okay, we are in the front line. Closer to the customers. Okay. So what are these levels of strategy? Because at the S level, they do planning, they also have strategy. And usually, when you say strategic planning, strategic means long-term. Okay, 3 to 5 years planning. At the tactical level, they also do planning. Okay, but only 1 year. Okay, 1 year, because they give budget 1 year. How you will manage your budget. At operational level, they also have strategy, how to sell, how to teach the students. We also have strategy. But this is very short term. Okay, you have to change, as you know, when you say selling, you plan your work daily, weekly, okay? Very short term. Then we will discuss centralization versus decentralization. What is D, madam? Not centralized, okay? What is centralization? Decentralization. What if you will hear people say, oh, this company is very centralized? Meaning to say, only people at the top can make decisions. Decision making is at the center, centralized, okay? People at the lower level, you cannot decide, refer to the top all the time. But when you say decentralized, authority to decide is delegated to the lower level. Okay? Department managers, you decide. Supervisors, you can decide. They distribute the power to decide. So when we talk about centralization and decentralization, this describes where decision-making power is made. Is it at the top all the time? Or is it delegated to the lower level? Okay? The power to decide. Okay? So we look at informal, how it relates with the formal organization. And what's the impact of the informal? Then we will describe the components of organization, okay, and how they are structured. Entrepreneurial structure, functional. Now, when you say functional, function, Functional means you create departments because one department has specific function. Sales is one function, finance, no duplication of work. So when you say functional structure, you create departments because every department has a specific function. Okay? When you say how much salary or how many employees you have, you always say, go to HR. You will not say go to production, no. They have different functions. So when you say, oh, very functional structure, functional means you have many departments. That's how you group people according to function, doing similar tasks. Then we have the hybrid structure matrix, combination of two structures. Then we have divisional, meaning you have divisions in other geographical area. Or you have different product lines, like Nestle, they have ice cream division, they have coffee division, they have healthcare product division. They divisionalize by product, or maybe by customer type or by brand. Then we will discuss boundaryless. Madam, you said an organization has a boundary. Now, no more, boundaryless. Yes, because of technology. So we will discuss virtual, hollow, and modular. Okay? Then we will discuss again separation of direction and management. We discuss span of control and scalar chain. The structure can either be tall or flat. Then we explain the characteristics of S, strategic, tactical, T, and O levels in the organization. The S, T, and O is formulated by Anthony. We call Anthony's hierarchy. Then the last topic is what is centralization? What is decentralization? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? Okay. Now we have another learning outcome here. Compare business organization structure. So this covers chapter 6, 7, and 8. Because chapter 8 is corporate governance. How corporations are governed, controlled, and directed, okay? If we are to summarize chapter 6, we will define what is formal, what is informal organization. We define span of control and scalar chain. We discuss tall and flat organization, the different structure, entrepreneurial, functional, geographic matrix. We also have Shamrock. Now Shamrock is Charles Handy is very good in, making names because Shamrock is a plant. A plant with, I think, 3 petals, okay? And, Charles Handy, you will get familiar with Charles Handy when we come to culture. He introduced the Shamrock organization. Then when we say levels of strategy, is it corporate level? Is it business level? Is it operational level? Then we have Anthony's triangle, S, T, and O. And lastly, centralization and decentralization. So this diagram summarizes chapter 6. So we are done with chapter 6. Okay. What is informal? Can you see this in the chart, organizational chart? No, madam, that's the hidden side. Okay, that's the hidden side. Okay. This is a network of relationship that exists within the organization. Why, madam, you say that in every formal organization, there exists an informal organization? Because what you cannot do in the formal, people can do it in the informal. For example, you belong to finance. So who will sit in the finance? All people belonging to finance. But remember, you have friends in sales, you have friends in production, you have friends in, social relationship is across. But during break, you group yourselves together. That's the informal. That's the informal. Okay? Okay, we will continue on Wednesday. Informal organization. No. No need now.